Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. I wanted to talk about Sevyn Streeter, and I wanted to ask what happened to Sevyn Streeter. If you don't know, Sevyn Streeter is an R&B singer, and she was hot for a little while, but somehow, somewhere, her career kind of fizzled out, and I wanted to make a video about that. Now let me give you a brief backstory. Before Sevyn Streeter became a solo artist, she was a part of two girl groups. She was a part of TG4 when she was a teenager, and she was also a part of a group named Richgirl. Being a part of Richgirl opened up some opportunities for Sevyn. She got a chance to open up for Beyonce, and she got a chance to connect with Chris Brown. One day while she and her group were at the studio with Chris, Sevyn Streeter asked to write with Chris Brown, and Chris Brown gave her the opportunity to write songs for him. When her group Richgirl disbanded, Sevyn started writing for Chris Brown full-time. She wrote several songs on Chris's album Fame, and she also wrote a few songs on his album Fortune. Sevyn's connection with Chris Brown opened up more opportunities for her, and she started working with other artists.
Chris Brown and writing songs for really amazing artists, Alicia Keys and Brandy and Fantasia and Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande, and just through my songwriting, I ended up, getting a solo record deal.
Sevyn Streeter snagged a songwriting publishing deal with Sony, and she also got a solo record deal with Atlantic Records. She wrote songs for several major artists, and she penned hits like All the Way Home, which was sung by Tamar Braxton, and she also wrote Ariana Grande's song The Way, which was Ariana's first major hit. Sevyn initially wanted to keep the song for herself. However, she knew that being a black artist, the song wouldn't be as big for her as it would be for a white pop artist like Ariana Grande.
I definitely feel like certain records are bigger on certain artists because they are white. Let's just say if I would have just put out The Way as opposed to selling it to an Ariana Grande, would they have played it on, big pop stations? Probably not.
Sevyn Streeter didn't have to worry because she did secure a big check from Ariana's song The Way. Also, she was able to get her own shine. She released her first solo single called I Like It, which did fairly well on the radio. But Sevyn's second single called It Won't Stop became her biggest hit. It Won't Stop was already getting some buzz on the radio. Not only that, Sevyn Streeter's name was getting hot in the industry. One of the most helpful things for Sevyn was the cosign she got from Chris Brown. Chris Brown did unofficially sign her to his talent label, and he did help push her. He also hopped on her single It Won't Stop, which peaked to number 2 on the R&B Billboard charts. It also became a number 1 hit on iTunes, and it reached the top 30 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. It Won't Stop also went platinum. After the success of It Won't Stop, Atlantic Records decided it was time to put Sevyn's first project out. Sevyn Streeter put an EP out called Call Me Crazy But, and she created visuals for all 7 of her songs. Also, her EP gained enough buzz for her to go on tour with K. Michelle. Sevyn Streeter worked very hard to promote herself. She connected with her fan base over social media. She also did press tours and established good relationships with radio personalities. She gained respect in the industry by a lot of her peers and also by a music legend named Stevie Wonder.
Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present an incredible singer-songwriter, Sevyn Streeter!
Sevyn Streeter's success did not stop there. In 2015, Sevyn released her second EP called Shoulda Been There Part 1. Sevyn Streeter also got buzz for this EP as well, and she released another song with Chris Brown called Don't Kill the Fun. Shoulda Been There was a strong EP, just like Call Me Crazy, and she was able to go on an 8-city solo tour off of her record. It was still kind of odd that Sevyn Streeter's label did not allow her to release an official album yet. It is true that the industry is not very supportive of R&B artists, so they had to work harder, and Sevyn had to work harder to prove that she was ready to release an official album. The following year, Sevyn Streeter was prepping up to release her official album, and she did make several music videos for her promotional singles to get her fans excited for her new project. However, Atlantic Records pushed back the release of her album until 2017. This was a very bad business move because Sevyn Streeter was already gaining buzz with her single Probably featuring Gucci Mane, and also Before I Do. Before I Do could have been another big hit for Sevyn if it was promoted properly and if her album wasn't delayed. By the time her album Girl Disrupted was released, the buzz for her music already died down. The disorganization in Sevyn's career was really taking a toll on her, and it led her into depression.
I pour my everything into my music, my career, and anytime you're working 120%, and you just feel like it's not in a place where you want it to be, it just takes a toll on you. There were so many different things. You want things to be further along than they are. That can be a trigger. You want to feel like you're getting out what you put in. So that was a trigger for me because obviously it took so long to get my album out.
On top of that, Sevyn was dealing with other things. She had to part ways with her management team, and also she wasn't receiving the same support from Chris Brown as she received in the past.
Okay, are you still signed to Chris Brown?
I believe I am. Honestly, I need to check and see, but I think that I am still signed to him. I love him to death. We haven't worked together in a very long time, and I hate that that's the case, but, there are other factors that are out of our control. I love him. I wish him the best.
At that time, Chris Brown was dealing with a lot of personal issues, including dealing with a restraining order from his ex, Karrueche. He wasn't able to manage his business the way that he used to, and it did affect Sevyn Streeter. Sevyn's depression was also triggered by her own personal issues. She broke up with her boyfriend B.O.B. because he was allegedly cheating. She found out her half-sister was not related to her at all. She also lost her relative and a good friend. On top of that, her career was not going the way she wanted it to go. Sevyn Streeter also talked about the difficulties of being a dark-skinned black girl in the music industry, which did have some effect on her career as well.
Well, I've been wrong in business since I was like 15 years old. You know what I mean? Dealing with being a brown-skinned girl in this industry is just nuts anyway. Colorism, it does exist. Within this industry. I talk about it all the time. I've dealt with it in plenty of groups that I was in before. I knew that I was capable of writing or singing or dancing just as well as the next person, but not given the same opportunities because of the color of my skin. And they've just felt like that, someone who looked a different way could sell something better, basically.
Despite all of her setbacks, Sevyn Streeter still managed to push forward, and she released her album, Girl Disrupted, in 2017. Right now, we don't know what's next for Sevyn Streeter, but she still is working on new music and writing. So we'll see what she has up her sleeve. Until then, I'm going to be jamming to her older music because Sevyn Streeter has some really good music, okay? Anyway, tell me what you all think about this down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!